Hey guys, I'm going to go over the full process of rolling a taco from prep to decorating. So when you're in the workflow and you're unrolling, when it's your turn, you're going to come up to the line, grab the tray. The person that has taken the order will write the order number and the item. We have abbreviations, you'll need to memorize those. So we have number 24, and this is a cookies and cream. So we have two different portion cups. This is in a time when we're not super busy or if we're out of these disposable ones. This bottom line, you fill it up to that line for a taco, fill it up to the top line for a cup. Rolling in one of these cups. So for now we're going to use this portion cup. For cookies and cream, I know that I get 5 ounces of ice cream base. Please fill the cup all the way up. And then I also know for cookies and cream, I get 2 Oreos. So I have those in my tray. I have my ice cream, and now I'm going to go over to where I'm rolling.
When you fill up these cups, please be very, very careful to not spill and save on product.
Yep. Our machines, we want cold before we start. Temperature is adjusted here. You're going to roll between -18 and -23-ish. Depends on your experience and how fast you are. You can see right now I'm at -21. That's perfect.
So to turn on this front machine, you flip it on and you turn the on button. It'll start freezing.
If you need to adjust your temperature, if it's too cold, hit set twice. Positive makes it warmer, negative makes it colder.
You shouldn't have to touch the set button. We really prefer if you keep the machines between -18 and 22.
Yep.
You shouldn't have any issues with that. So just so you guys know. Okay.
Okay, there's some really, really important keys to rolling.
When you set up your machine, you need a wet rag that's folded exactly the way Devin folds it. Show him how to fold it. This is what we expect when you are at your station.
So
Devin,
fold it in half. Fold it in half. That way, when I wipe, this side gets dirty. I have this side, this side, this side, this side. Open it up, fold it again, and you have 4 more clean spaces.
Yes.
I do not want to see people doing this.
Yep.
Okay?
Keep it folded nice.
Keep it clean. Keep your
It'll make your
station
rags
clean.
last longer, and it'll make it so you look cleaner and not messy and
We have our
nasty.
waste bucket. If this starts looking nasty and full, you switch it out for a clean one.
And full meaning like a fourth of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're nice and cold. There's some really important tricks to rolling to go fast and efficiently without making a mess. And I'll walk through them. I'm not going to go full speed because I'm going to demonstrate for you guys, but we will work with your speed. So you're rolling in about a minute, minute and a half. So dump your ice cream on, dump your toppings on. Things like Oreos need to be chopped, but you don't have to over chop them because they break up really easy. So give it a quick chop.
And notice how he's not chopping like crazy hard.
Yeah.
He's
Another
just
thing is, if you spread out your ice cream, more surface area, it freezes a lot faster. Scrape, push off with your big scraper.
look at the angle of the smaller scraper. He always has it at about a 50. Wouldn't you say like a 50-degree angle?
Yeah. Keep everything in one pile. Notice I don't have ice cream all over my plate. It's not slopped on the glass. You have it in a nice ball. Bring it up to the top of your machine. This big scraper is your straight edge. Our edges need to be very clean, very straight. See how I pull them down together? This is my guide. Keeps everything on this side nice and clean. Nice and clean, nice and straight. If you want to fill in uneven spots, go sideways. Now I'm going to flip my hand opposite. And I have a nice clean edge for this side. See again, nice straight line, not jaggedy, not uneven. Got a little ice cream over here, just bring it in. Fill it in. The more evenly you roll, the prettier it's going to be. The other very important thing is your edges are very clean and straight. You can see both of my edges, very clean, very straight. Take any of your extra, spread it out.
Notice that the width of his ice cream is not any bigger than his rolling tool. So if you're bigger, that's ice cream wasted when you roll your taco up. So make sure, we don't care if it's narrow, super narrow, but we want it to be at least narrower than your rolling
No
tool.
wider.
If it's
Absolutely
wider
no
than
wider.
that, you are wasting product and the customer is not getting as much ice cream. So
Okay. As you memorize the recipes, you're going to see that some rolls have drizzles inside, some don't. Do not get carried away with the drizzle. It is more for effect for customers than it is for flavor. So I don't want to see heavy drizzle inside this roll. It's going to be a quick, just like that.
that is perfect.
Not too heavy, not too light, enough that it's fun for the customers,
Yep.
and then you're ready to roll. We've
If
been
you add
talking.
too much drizzle, the flavor of the actual ice cream gets taken away because we do decorate the top of our ice cream.
Yep.
So that might not seem like a lot of drizzle, but once you decorate the top, it is a lot of drizzle.
Yep. We don't want our cookies and cream to taste like chocolate. We want them to taste the Oreos.
Yep.
So this has been sitting for several minutes, so I'm going to defrost. To defrost, you hit this button, and then off. When that light turns off, back on. And as you come up here, give it a wiggle.
Wiggle.
See how I wiggle and it folds over just really nice. And then push it straight on. And because it's not wider than my edges of my scraper,
No
there's
wasted ice
nothing
cream.
left on my plate.
Look how clean his plate is, how clean his tools. There's no waste or ice cream up around these edges. Just a perfect roll.
Okay, grab your waffle cone. You have to be careful. If you squeeze your waffle cone, it's going to break in half. So the way I like to do it is grab your tongs, grab this at an angle, not sideways,
You're smushing it sideways, grab a
So grab it like
angle at
this.
the end.
and
Slide
you
her
watch, and you just drop it in. Easy peasy.
Look how good that looks, guys. That's what we expect when
We
you're rolling.
want your rolls to look like the pictures on the menus.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to show you how to decorate. Don't overdo it with whipped cream and drizzle, but also
Don't
make it
underdo it.
Don't make it look dinky. Okay, so we're going to do a back and forth motion with the whipped cream.
You're gonna start right as the shell starts to peak upwards above
Yep.
the ice cream. So right in the middle, you'll see we still have ice cream on both ends that are not covered in whipped cream. So right in the middle, you have a little fluff ball of whip.
Yep. I'm going to take an Oreo, break it in half, put it on here. I've got my chocolate drizzle. Again, don't go crazy.
Drizzle right, yep.
Pretty, not too much.
I personally do a little more drizzle than that, but this is a good start.
Okay.
So anything more, I do a little more than that, but anything more than that is too much. Finish with your Pockies. That is a perfect roll. Okay, we're gonna go over shakes, smoothies, everything in this video. As we talked about before in the lineup, if you're working and you grab from the line and the next step is a shake, that is for yours to do. So if there's ice cream, someone else grabs ice cream, someone else, and this is what's next in the line, you're doing shakes. We don't specifically have anybody working on shakes unless all of a sudden we have 10 shakes lined up. Then they'll bring it back to you and you'll catch up on shakes. Or Samantha's grabbing a blender and doing a shake. The next one, Liz is grabbing a blender and doing a shake, so that two people are working on shakes to catch up. But never take shakes out of order, because like we talked about before, we want numbers to line up as we call them, as close together as possible. So grab your shake when you're in line. We're coming down here. We set our shake so I know when I'm coming over, it's number 63. It's a cookies and cream shake. I set it right here. If there's two shakes right next to each other in line, definitely feel free to make them at the same time because they're right next to each other. If there's 3 shakes right next to each other in line, feel free to make them, but we can only run 2 at a time. So get those first 2 out at the same time. Maybe someone else in line will grab that 3rd shake and come do it so that you don't get stuck making shakes. We want a good rotation happening with our food items, numbers coming out. So while I know it's a cookies and cream, we have our cheat sheet right back here. Like Devin said before, it's all abbreviated. We will make sure you know all of this. Cookies and cream, Monsters Inc. shake, Rainbow Road, Taro or Tario. The only difference is Oreos added to the Tario. Matcha, Matcha Monster, Strawberry Shake, Mocha and Cream, Watermelon, Chimango, and then these are our drinks. So this will tell you on our drink what we add in. These are all shakes and smoothies right here. It's abbreviated to BS on here, means brown spoon. You will know all of this when you start because you'll have taken a test on all of this and what goes in it and how much. So this should all be familiar to you. It's just a cheat sheet that we keep up here to help you when we're busy, so you don't even have to think about it. So right now we're making a cookies and cream shake. I grab my blender, I check it out. It doesn't matter how you add the ingredients in. I always start at the top so that I know I don't miss something. So if you miss something, you don't know, and your shake won't blend, and it'll be weird. If you miss the base, it'll be thick, grainy, and like you won't even be able to blend it. If there's not enough ice, it'll be runny like water. If there's not enough syrup or you miss the syrup, it'll be thick. So there's signs to make sure that if you're not making it right, you'll know. So start at the top, work your way down so that you don't miss anything. If it's not blending right, you've done something wrong. It's very, very easy, but for some reason we get a lot of different looks coming out with our shakes. So we want consistency. The biggest things are consistency, the thickness, and ice. We do not want any ice chunks to be in our drinks or our shakes.
Also remember, these are milkshakes. They are not Dairy Queen Blizzards.
Yes, they're
We're not flipping the cup upside down. It's okay if they're not super, super thick because the ice has to be fully incorporated.
Yeah, we don't want overly thick. We don't want runny juice, you know? So here we go. So I add the base first. That's the first one. If you're doing a smoothie, a lot of our bases are orange juice base. But since we're doing cookies and cream, the nice thing about having a trash can right here is you don't have to put this in the sink. Just turn around, drop it in the trash can. Next up on cookies and cream is fructose. So I do 3 brown spoons of fructose. When I do my fructose, I drizzle, and when it's about to heap over the top, I drop it in. Never ever spray the fructose in without measuring it. We have had kids do that before. I don't care if you've made a million shakes and you can time how much fructose is 3 brown spoons. Always use the brown spoon because consistency is important to us and everybody needs to be making these shakes the exact same way, just like our ice creams. Shakes are no different. So once you use the brown spoon for 3, you can set it in the sink, or if you have a cup for your fructose brown spoon, that's fine too. If you want to reuse that spoon, just set it in a clean cup so you can reuse it. So next up is a full cup of ice. This is where people struggle. So we're going to be very clear on this. I set my blender here. This is our ice machine. I'll come scoop with the ice machine. You want the exact level of ice as this scooper. You don't want this. You don't want this. You want the exact level. If you have to shake it off a little bit, that's okay, of this scooper. So, Dev, do you like that? Does that look good? Exact level of the ice scooper. Next up, we have 3 Oreos. If you want to add the Oreos in now, you can. Devin likes to add them in after it's all been blended on low, and I can show you that as well. I add all my Oreos in just so that I don't forget them. When I'm busy, I don't want to go back and have to remember my Oreos. So I put my 3 Oreos in, I put my lid on. And then before I mix it, I go, I got the base, I got the fructose, I got the ice, I got the Oreos. Check. Done. Put it in the mixer. Close it. This is the start button. We want your speed to be, when you click start, at between 18 and 20% speed to start mixing it. If it's too high, you're not gonna break up all the ice. If it's too low, you're gonna waste too much time blending. So we'll start it. Make sure it's at between 19 and 20, or 18 and 20, right here. That's the percentage right there. I run that at 30 to 45 seconds, depending on the ice in here. So you can see when Devin gets really close, the ice chunks in here. I'm gonna open the lid so you can see. When those ice chunks disappear, I'm running a high pulse. So we're at 30 seconds. I still see quite a few ice chunks. While this is blending, I'll grab my cup over here. Grab my cup, because I know part of a cookies and cream is a chocolate drizzle in the cup. So while that's mixing, I'll drizzle the cup. I'm back, it's ready to go. It mixed for a little over 45 seconds. I don't see any ice chunks in there. Everything's well blended. I high pulse for 10 seconds.
So the high pulse is what gives the texture to the shake. It breaks up those tiny, tiny ice particles, so now it has a texture of ice cream and a milkshake.
Yes. So I'll give it another high pulse. I like to high pulse twice. If you don't need to, you don't need to, but I like to give it 2 high pulses. You can see my texture is thick, but it's able to move.
Yep.
It's not runny, it's not running out of the blender, but it has a thickness to it. So now you should be able to, not be able to actually pour it in by itself, but use a long spoon to help get it in the cup. So see that thickness? That is the goal.
Perfect consistency.
So it's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's a good milkshake.
And your milkshakes and smoothies need to be this consistency every time.
Every time.
And another very important thing you're gonna see here, there's not a bunch left over.
Look, my cup, there isn't any left over. If I were to scrape the whole bottom of this blender, I have no leftover product. It all goes into my shake.
No waste.
There is absolutely no
And then
waste.
If you look at Lisa's cup, it is not bulging over. So perfect proportions and consistency.
Man, and you're no waste. That is very important to us. If you are consistently having a cup or more waste in the bottom, you are using too much of something. So use your critical thinking and say, why do I have so much left over? Did I use too much ice? Did I use too much product? Use your critical thinking when you're making these shakes, because we've had people come back when I'm doing dishes sometimes and they've brought half a thing left of shakes. Please do not waste the product like that. If you are making it correctly, you should have little to no waste. If there is a lot of waste left, please don't throw it away or down the drain. Grab a little portion cup, put it in here, or grab another cup and give it to the customer, at least if you're over making. Don't make it a habit. If you're over making, that needs to be addressed and you need help with your shakes.
Yep.
But if you randomly do, because no one's perfect, get a little extra that doesn't fit in the cup, please do not waste it by rinsing it down the drain. Give it as extra with the person that ordered it.
Yep.
Yeah.
If we find that you're consistently wasting product, that is literally throwing away money.
Yeah.
And those will either come out of your tips or your paycheck.
Yeah.
So very important, and take it seriously.
So bring it over here. We'll finish this shake off with a little ice cream in the middle, or a little whipped cream in the middle. Doesn't need to be a lot, doesn't need to be a mountain. It just needs a little whip on top. I stick a whole Oreo just like this. We hit it with our Oreo, oh, those aren't Oreo dust. We hit it with Oreo dust, not sprinkles.
But some little girl is
But
gonna
that's
love
adorable. Yeah. Oh, dripping. And then we grab our dome lids right here. Sorry, man, I'm struggling right now. Dome lids. hit it with our chocolate drizzle, just right here in the middle. Like I said, it doesn't need a ton. And then we pop this lid on. Sorry, while I've been talking, it's melted a little. And then we serve it with one of our thicker, large straws. Look how fun that looks. I actually like it more with the sprinkles.
Yeah,
it's
it's
adorable. Anyway, this is how we expect our shakes to be made every single day. Every single time you make shakes. We know at first, as you get used to things, that there's a learning curve, but you will have taken a test on this, so you should know all this anyway. This video is just to recap what you already know. So make sure you're blending the right way. The key is in blending, and if it's not blending the right way, you've missed something. So that is shakes and smoothies for you guys. Do you have anything else that you want to add, babe?
No, that's perfect.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys.